What's up? It's your nigga Ice City. 5-1 motherfucking up.
And it's your homie, Uptown Jackson in HD.
And the crowd goes wild. Alright, so tell the niggas why we're here today.
We're here we're here because we're about a week away from one of the biggest events that is happening in about 4 years, and it's the election. And on November 8th, millions of people will be going to the ballot booth and voting for the next leader of our country. But more importantly, millions and millions of motherfuckers will not be going to the ballot booth and casting their vote for the next leader of our country.
So that brings us here today. Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton.
You know what I'm saying? Does every vote count?
And if it does, where should you put it?
And I'm to the point to where it's like I really don't give a fuck. I don't vote. You know what I'm saying? Let me just get that. I'm one of them niggas that I don't vote. And the reason why I don't vote is because I don't see the reason to. I feel like, well, it's certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, like legalizing marijuana, the taxes should go up, shit. But even still, that to a certain extent, I feel like if it's, you know what I'm saying, leaning a certain way, they gonna go with the way that it's leaning. So as it comes to like voting for politics and shit like that, I really don't even pay no attention to it, and I don't see why the world does either, because the shit is fucking rigged.
Now, I don't vote, and I think it's rigged. But as I get older and I kind of learn more, I think about how it's rigged. And he brought up a really good point. Even if you don't want to vote for the president, there's a bunch of other shit to vote for. And while he says it's all rigged, I think that it's not. Or at least if it's close.
I'm not saying, I just say it was all, I was like, it's not all rigged. It's either it leans towards a certain way, and they kind of go towards the way that it's leaning.
But at the same time, that's good because then the more, like for instance, voting for legalizing weed. In California, we don't want it legalized. We don't want it recreational. I think that they're really kind of fucking making it hard to establish yourself as a delivery service like we're trying to do, or to be a grow. We digress. But it's things like that that you need to get out and vote for. If more people went out and voted, for instance, if you live in New York and you're paying $12.50 for a pack of cigarettes, that's the type of shit that people vote on. And that's the type of shit that people who care go out and vote, and then the shit gets passed. And the people who don't is like, well, see, it's fucking rigged. Or the people who don't vote are like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. But you never know. So you have to, at the very least, use voting as creating a big focus group for the country. I think what it is to me, like what I'm learning is they know that we're not going to vote. So they only have to fool a small number of people. And the small number of people that do vote want to be lied to. So it's really easy for them to be like, oh yeah, Donald Trump's a pussy-grabbing racist, and you know, Hillary Clinton is an evil, warmongering email hider. Like, you want to be lied to, like those people are already convinced and they're already going to vote. So to me, if we really need to make a difference, people like us who don't believe that voting really makes a difference in the long run, we need to be shown that it does. Because I would like to be shown that my vote actually matters.
Yeah, like I yeah, I already feel that it's already they already know who's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't know that for a fact. You know, I really can't. I kind of can. I don't want to say I can prove it. I'm just saying, watch when Bush won the election. Just go watch that whole thing again.
And there are stories of Nixon telling Reagan that he'd have to take a step back, or Nixon telling. So yeah, they basically have been, and it's right here in Sonoma County, very close to where we are, Bohemian Grove. They discussed the order of the presidents. John F. Kennedy, I believe the reason why he got elected, and you can Google it and let me know what you find, is the mafia had a hand in rigging his election. He is why the mafia is why John F. Kennedy won.
And that's why I was like, when you start the whole thing, when you start looking into like, it's a secret society is not just the Illuminati. It's just a name of motherfucking clubs that is a secret.
Yeah, it's like saying Santa Claus when you really mean the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So more than like the mafia is the secret society. The mafia is damn near the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the triads, they got a secret society. The agents, like all these little gangs, they have their own little thing. And the politicians in the government, I'm pretty sure that they got their own thing that they running. With the president shit, once I remember when I was little, and I asked my granny, I was like, can the president change? I can't remember what it was exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, can the president change? You know what I'm saying? To say, fuck it, we only got to go to school 3 days. We don't got to go to school 5 days. We can go to school 3 days out of the week. And it's like, no, the president can't do that. And I'm like, he can't do that. Like, well, what can he do? Well, he can try, like, he really can't do shit. It's just a face of somebody taking fucking blame for what some other motherfuckers is doing for what the fuck they want to do.
You know, a very famous comedian said something to me. He didn't say it to me. He said it in an act, but he said it a long time ago, and it affected me to this day. He said, at the time it was Ronald Reagan. It's like blaming Ronald Reagan for the state of the country is like blaming Ronald McDonald if you get a bad hamburger. And to me, essentially, that's kind of what most presidents are. Now, I believe that there has to be a reason that most motherfuckers that run and become president take a pay cut to do it. Donald Trump damn sure would have. Hillary Clinton's going to take a pay cut. Ross Perot is going to take a. Why are all of these people taking pay cuts to do this job? And I sincerely believe that once martial law comes in place, then the president would move closer to a monarch than an elected official, and he'll have absolute power. So I think that's kind of every president is rolling the dice. Maybe I'm going to be the president that fucking martial law gets enacted, and then I become king of the United States.
It was like, okay, so why do people, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to like, I don't pay attention to none of this shit. I just feel it's interesting to talk about though. So I just want to know, like, I'm pretty sure he knows a little bit about it. Why do people not like Donald Trump?
People don't like Donald Trump because he is, they say he's a racist, which he's probably just as racist as any of us. Like, I believe he's probably as racist as a normal person is racist. I mean, I don't think he's like Ku Klux Klan racist.
Yeah.
I think he is just because he says things like the blacks, and then people take what he says. He does. I mean, that's how. But he's a fucking old white New Yorker. That's how it's like, oh, the fucking blacks with their fucking hip hop, or man, the Spics are really good workers. He don't mean nothing by it. Like, for instance, my mom just realized maybe a couple of years ago that you can't call all Hispanic people Mexican. She didn't realize that you just couldn't be like, oh, he's Hispanic, he's Mexican, or the Mexican this or the Mexican that. She's like, oh no, they're actually from different places. You just, Mexican ain't a blanket term. He's from that generation.
Yeah. So I'll do that. I'm Mexican.
I know I won't go and get my nails done from somebody who ain't Korean. You know what I'm saying? And then when they talk that shit, I call it and see they go talking that shit. When I see a bad driver, I look to see if what race it is. I mean, he's the average level of racist. The problem is he has a voice. So, and then they say, well, he says, it's not even that. He says he wants to build a wall between here and Mexico, which people have a problem with, which I find ironic considering that on the southern border of Mexico, there's a wall. So he wants exactly the same thing that Mexico has, but for some reason, when it's us, when it's America, it's a problem.
I would say China got the Great Wall,
but that's more of a tourist attraction at this point.
But I don't see really nothing that wrong with that. Like when you say, you know what I'm saying, like Mexico got the shit.
And that's the thing. It's like Mexico. They say that they also say he's racist because he kind of is on the side of cops. Every time people talk about the cops killing black people, he's like, well, man, we need good cops to do their job and da 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 da. He has, but once again, he comes from a rich white dude.
But you know what? It ain't nobody gonna do anything about them fucking cops.
And that's what I was getting.
It ain't no Hillary gonna stop
niggas have been getting killed by cops for. I believe niggas have been getting killed by cops longer than there have actually been cops.
So exactly. So that's not gonna change. So I don't see. And like I go out and I get stopped a lot, and people are like, "Oh, you registered to vote? You voting?" And I'll be like, "No, why? Why you ain't voting?"
Because you're basically, to us, voting is the equivalent of putting your tooth under the pillow for the tooth fairy to get a quarter. Like, yeah, it appears that you got something out of it, but really it was your parents giving some loose change. Or if you're really lucky, I know a couple kids get like $1 or whatever, but it is the thing. It's a pointless gesture. To me, voting buys the right to complain. And since I don't really complain about the government, I just look at it like I watch wrestling, because wrestling ain't good anymore, so now I watch politics. So I don't really complain. As long as I got my internet, I got my weed, and I got my video games, which suck, by the way, and I can raise my daughter, I'm cool.
But as far as like the whole politician shit and Hillary Clinton, I really don't get into it. And I really think everybody, well, I don't want to say just, I kind of do. Just be like, leave the shit alone. Because it ain't really no point. Like, we in here, once I seen the shit about George Bush, it really don't matter. And they're not saying anything about Obama, but it ain't like if even if Hillary Clinton go in office, a little might change for women, and it's gonna take a while. But
Well,
it's not like it's gonna be anything drastic.
as far as Hillary getting into office and things changing for women, first of all, women already have it pretty fucking sweet. Like, I don't know what is going to change. What do women not have that they're going to get by having a woman president? And I know as a black man, Obama really didn't do much of shit for me. Um, and it's funny because I think Obama is responsible for more drone strikes than George Bush was. Yeah, Obama, like when you think about it, and this is what I like, how much did your life change before and after Obama? How much did your life change before and after the first Bush? Like, to me, shit really didn't change except from like Reagan to Bill Clinton. Like, that was kind of a big change because Reagan was doing a lot of shady and underhanded shit, and that kind of stopped.
Yeah.
But after that, it seemed to be pretty much the same. Like, once the government stopped shipping in big ass mountains of coke and heroin and fucking, among other things that Reagan was doing, calling ketchup a vegetable and trickle down economics. And I think that's what a lot of educated people are scared of, is that if Trump gets into office, that it'll be a repeat of Reaganomics. But I don't know, because I don't think that Trump would do a lot of the crooked, underhanded shit that people like Ronald Reagan and Oliver North were pulling. And goddamn, nigga, it's called the Reagan era for a fucking reason.
Well, it's like to say with the presidents, we really don't know what any of them is doing. And I'm pretty sure
they all work for the same motherfucker.
They all got to do some little crooked shit. So, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the president really has no power like that. Like,
even if you were talking legitimately, like, even if there wasn't strings being pulled or influence or big donors that needed to be answered to, the whole government is set up in a set of checks and balances to where the president only has so much power. Although these executive orders start to pile up, but in essence, he can be impeached. So he's not supposed to have but so much power anyway. It's more of a voice. And I think that's another thing that people are scared of with Trump. Is like, well, it's the only thing that the president really has is a voice to sway, global influence and local influence. What kind of shit is Trump gonna say?
Probably anything that come out of his damn mouth. And the same thing with Hillary Clinton. But the thing, like I said, I don't get to this, like the whole politicians. It always seems like every time of the year, it's some shit to talk about. You know what I'm saying? In barbershops, when you just walking around, you can be in a grocery store, you just hear somebody talking about the presidents or election or somebody being in line. And I was talking to my grandmother earlier, and just like about Thanksgiving, and she was trying to tell me I should come to her church and have Thanksgiving because they was gonna cook. And I was like, man, I don't really want to be telling people because I don't believe in God. And it's been like a year since I've been like comfortable just saying that. And if I go to church saying that, and she's like, I don't even really. She's like, it's two things I don't talk to people about: politics and religion.
Even at a church.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why. Why not? Like, why do people say that? Why are people scared to be like, oh, well, I'm voting for Donald Trump or I'm voting for Hillary Clinton because I agree with what they saying. Like, I don't get, like, You know what I'm saying? Like now.
Well, I'll give you an example
in
of why.
2016, where people is coming out the closet, it's okay for you to be gay, and it's fucking being put everywhere, and men are being transferred into women, and it's cool and it's being appreciative. And back in the day, if you used to call somebody gay and that's what all you used to do, and now somebody come out gay and you really can't say nothing, and if you do say something, you looked at or you pointed at with the finger. People still can't talk about who they want to vote for and they fucking religion and why they believe in it. That's crazy.
Well, I'll give you for instance, why. Because at my job, I'm the boss and I have a worker, and she likes to talk about religion and politics. And here, this one works better. You don't want to, and she doesn't know I'm an atheist. So she starts talking about shit about people who don't believe in God. Or she doesn't know how I feel about Colin Kaepernick, and she starts talking about how shitty of a person Colin Kaepernick is. And she doesn't realize that now the nigga that writes your schedule and tells you basically what to do, you are basically saying that everything that he believes in, you're the fucking opposite. Like, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't want to offend people. Well, we don't. They don't want to offend. Not they. Y'all probably don't give a fuck either. Normal people don't want to walk into situations and offend people because they feel awkward. And if you tell me who I'm voting, if I have to tell you who I'm voting for, then you're going to judge me, hold it against me, disagree with me, call me stupid. Like, these people can't handle those type of normal conversations. For instance, if I tell people I don't believe in God, they're going to immediately formulate an opinion on who I am or who you are.
And like I said, back in the day, I can understand that. But now in 2016, where all this other shit is flying out the window, and it's cool to do this, and this is whatnot, and everybody else is expressing themselves on Instagram, and you've got everything going viral, and everybody showing what they're doing and talking about. These still the only two things that people still is worried about getting judged about, and people talk like that.
But more and more people, see, the thing is, without you being on Facebook, you may not realize that more and more people are comfortable talking about politics,
but not face to face.
No, not face to face.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't gonna be like two niggas walking down the street holding each other's hand.
Because people, you know what? People feel really passionate about. Wow, people feel really passionate about those two things. And nigga, could you imagine
about being gay or
no, about religion and fucking politics? And if it were like socially acceptable to talk about it, there'd just be arguments all the fucking time.
I mean, but it's arguments every time about everything else.
But it's crazy. I mean, it's one of them things like where you, even if a woman is obviously pregnant, is impolite to ask her how far along is she.
Saying. Or asking a woman her age, or asking a woman her weight, which I find is crazy because it should be the same thing for a man. Why ask a man his age or his weight? Why do that? It don't even matter. Like, it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's my thing. I don't even see why that shit matter now, because now motherfucking people be on them dating sites. You'll be quick. You don't leave unknown age. You be like, hey, I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20, or da-da-da-da. So now if you was to ask somebody that age, and it's more than likely a woman over 30 that, it's rude to ask a woman her age or something like that. Like, I don't get, like, the whole, like, the way society is set shit up is fucked up. And that's why I don't get into that shit. I don't get into religion. I don't get into politics. I don't get into, it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. And if didn't nobody really have to talk about that shit, I think the world would be such a better place.
The world would be a better place without religion. The problem is you can't convince religious people of that.
I'm saying politics too.
Well, the thing with politics is somebody needs to be in charge.
I know, but everybody, like, we can You know what I'm saying? Like it's motherfucking people that stay in villages, and I don't want to say it like that because I'm like, well, they stay in villages and they tribes, and but the motherfuckers is pretty civilized. They got some shit working together where they know what the fuck they doing, and there ain't no police over there, so we can cooperate. I done been to events before where, you know what I'm saying, some shit didn't happen and people done formed together and they didn't stop shit from happening, and the shit that continued, and there was no police involved. So it's not really like people can make decisions and form shit.
Maybe 350, but not 350 million. That's the thing. Like 350 million people just can't come together and make decisions. That's not, and that's how many people are in this country right now.
Okay.
So you need leaders to kind of delegate. It's just you can't. Well, I mean, you can't have anarchy. There's a system in place for it, but it's not productive. Like you're not going to remain a superpower.
Okay. Well, it's like it's rules that we set and follow, but once you know what I'm saying, once the leaders, it's like the only more thing that they doing is I don't see what the president is doing. That's insane that they lead.
You know what? It's funny because maybe I'm high and you're not, but the president does do stuff.
Well, he does do stuff. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking, you know, you being the boss at your job. I mean, you do stuff.
That's true.
But like, cause you got a job, you got to do shit. But like the rules were already set. Like you know what I'm saying? It's already set for you to do something. And it's just like anybody can come in and do that. And I know they have terms for shit like that, but after a while, if motherfuckers really just came in the store, but yeah, it has to be somebody there to take the money because you just can't go in the store and then fucking just buy something without somebody being there. So it has to be workers, and it has to be bosses, and it has to be shit like that. I understand that. But the talk for the politicians and the presidents and not talking about who you want to vote for and this person is better than this person and doing that, like the presidents are not, they don't have it, they're not going, they have an agenda that they go in there with, and I'm pretty sure when they go in there, they're like, yeah, it's either do this or you ain't about to be the president. And you can look and see what happened in the past with a lot of presidents that tried to do some shit on their own. Niggas got shot.
Killed. So I don't know what the upside. What is the upside to being president? What do you get for 4 years or maybe 8 years of being a group of people's puppets? It's got to be something dope.
Well, I'm saying, what's the upside for you voting? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, I'm going out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really get up and like, well, I'm about to go out and vote and do my thing. And you really think, like, I don't, like, it's crazy that you really think that your one vote is really about to change what these motherfuckers already had planned, or who they want to be president or who they don't want to be president.
Well, man, all of the shit is supposed to add up. Like, no drop of rain causes a flood, but a bunch of drops of rain, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, in theory, if enough people don't want Donald Trump to be president, they can get together, their voice can be heard, and in theory, if it's the right combination of people in states that have the electoral college, then yeah, voting is fucked up. I don't understand why people do it. Because you can have, it's not like saying whoever has the most votes wins. So it's not even a logical system.
Yeah. And that's crazy.
And I think maybe that's why I'm pro voting on a state level and not necessarily a presidential or federal level, because it's not. Yeah, your vote may not count depending on what state you live in. So who knows? And it's funny because I think people all want the same shit. In essence, like you really just kind of want to live your life, make some money, get the most for your money. Don't have people tell you what the fuck you can and cannot do. Don't have what other people can or cannot do infringe on your life, and be good. Hire some people that are honest to catch the bad guys. Let me smoke my weed, play my video games, raise my kid. And I think most people would kind of agree that they could fill in them 3 blanks with things that don't hurt other people, and you make shit complicated.
Yeah. It's not simple, but let us know what y'all think. Y'all out there voting, who y'all voted for,
And why?
Why y'all ashamed to talk about it?
Probably not, because you're behind the keyboard and people get really brave behind keyboards. But what I want to know is, what has the president done that has directly affected your life? Is it Obamacare? Were you somebody who went to jail for weed and got let out? Like, what has the president done that has directly affected your everyday life? This is your nigga Uptown Jackson.
This your nigga Ice City 5-1 motherfucking up.
And if you made it this far, we really appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, share this video with somebody. Watch our old videos. The blunts, the Illuminati and fluoride, that's a good one.
Wax versus weed.
Wax versus weed. Because, yeah, if you watch this far, you watch this because you like to see 2 high motherfuckers ramble and talk about shit. So, yeah, definitely check out Wax versus Weed. You know how to work YouTube. You click on some shit that's over here or over there, and you get to the rest of our videos. I'm on social media as Uptown Jackson.
I'm not. Peace.
Peace.